Been watching various cable news channels all day long, and I had just gotten through making a video on Donald Trump's speech today, and took a little time off, came back, and caught this particular segment on All In with Chris Hayes that was hosted by Joy Reid. And I am of the opinion now that the Donald Trump speeches that he's given over the past 3 days, where he makes all these mentions about the African American community, were basically just smoke screens where he's just trying to get people, and I'm going to say it specifically, mostly white people, to be more comfortable with him so that he can garner their votes. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't believe that America itself is racist. I just believe that there are people within America that are racist. And I had done a video on Marsha Blackburn. I think she's one of them. But this particular person that is he's an elected representative in the House of Representatives, and you'll see his name as Joy attempts to ask him questions. And my problem is that apparently all of the Trump surrogates don't get on that early morning conference call where they get their directions and talking points, because this particular guy refused to answer any questions. And if Donald Trump is attempting to portray a softer, gentler Donald Trump that, as he claims, always tells the truth, this guy, he didn't get the message. Anyway, here's the video.
Joining me now is senior advisor to the Trump campaign, Jack Kingston, former Republican congressman from Georgia. Congressman, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
It's great to be with you, Joy.
So let's talk about that. Donald Trump said he regrets anything he may have said that has caused personal pain. And then Kellyanne Conway, who's the new campaign manager, said that he may reach out to those that feel offended. So let's just go through some of the things he said that have caused not just personal pain, that have actually hurt him. Probably the thing that has hurt Donald Trump the most with African Americans who don't know his personal history, the things like housing discrimination, is the birtherism, saying that Barack Obama is not an American citizen, which he started saying as far back as 2011. Why doesn't he show his birth certificate, demanding to see his papers? Do you think that's something that Donald Trump regrets?
I don't know. I'm wondering if Hillary and the Democrats regret calling in.
See, okay, and that's classic, bullshit. Anytime a Trump surrogate, and I'm going to pretty much say the Democrats are guilty of it too, but more so the Trump surrogates. Anytime you interview them and ask them a question where they have to give you an answer that may not put the person that they're supporting in the best light, they, number one, don't answer the question, and number two, they will automatically spin it towards Hillary Clinton. And this is a prime example of that tactic being used. And later on in this particular interview, Joy Reid basically points it out to him.
Mrs. Trump's citizenship, maybe that's the same. Maybe
I don't think
Hillary...
Democrats have questioned Mrs. Trump's citizenship.
Joy.
Wait, hold on a second, sir.
See, and that's a lie, because she became a naturalized citizen, so nobody questioned that. They just questioned how she was in the country the very first year that she was here, whether she was in the country under a legalized visa or not. When she came, left the country and came back in the second time, she obviously, I say obviously, but it's been proven that when she came back in the second time, that she came back in legally and has basically done everything that she was supposed to do and then became a citizen. So it's never been a question of her citizenship. It was just a question of was she here legally or illegally the first year that she was here. But he doesn't care about facts. So.
That's an excellent tactic. I have to tell you, I used to do campaign communications, so I know shifting the subject to something else is a great tactic. But you didn't answer my question. Let me go to the next one. Hold on.
Joy, my job is to present our side, and now
right.
you
but
just
I'm asking you a question, and you didn't answer.
With you, so. I just, well, okay, we're going to reset.
I just want to ask you, do you think that he regrets the birtherism? You can just say yes or no.
I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he raised the question. But, you know, the reality is...
do you still question whether the President of the United States is a citizen?
Let me say this. I think you guys should accept an apology and just go with it. I mean, this is what the left has been demanding.
Yeah, I agree with him. I think that the left should accept an apology. Unfortunately, no apology was ever given, so you can't accept something that hasn't been offered.
And apologies. Now, I frankly would love to see Hillary Clinton apologize to the family of the dead soldiers in Benghazi when she told them that it was caused by a video, which was an absolute positive lie. Wouldn't it be nice if she said, you know what, I was Secretary of State, I am responsible. Your son's deaths were not caused by a video.
We don't have unlimited time.
Okay, funny thing about that is they caught one person that was involved in the Benghazi murders or massacres. And that person has stated that the video was partially responsible for the assault on the embassy. But he conveniently forgot to mention that piece. So, Benghazi is whatever you want it to be. It's something that's going to continue to be rehashed all the way throughout the process. So, I got used to it, but when I hear bullshit, I just have to call it out.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second, sir. Are you going to just filibuster, or are you going to answer any question that I ask you?
He's just going to filibuster and not answer any question you're going to ask him. I can answer that question for you right now.
A second. I'm going to ask you another question, because you've just now gone through and given two specific things you would like to see the Democrats apologize for. So let me give you a specific thing that perhaps Donald Trump might want to apologize for. Calling Mexican migrants rapists. Do you think that's something that you would advise him to apologize for?
I think you got an apology last night, and I think in terms of him reaching
did it include Mexican migrants?
He said anything that caused pain.
But you have to answer one specific thing that you think he might want to apologize for.
It probably was the most significant speech of the entire campaign
season. Mr. Kingston, you still have not answered. Let's try another one. Do you think you're a former colleague of Senator John McCain? John McCain served in the United States Senate.
I'm sure you have a list of Democrat talking points there.
These are questions as to whether or not he should apologize to John McCain, your former colleague.
What we're going to do?
Would you advise him to do that?
Do you think Hillary should apologize?
You're not going to answer that question. Let's try another one. Do you think that Donald Trump should apologize?
You see what I'm saying?
No, because I don't. You're not answering any of my questions.
Of these, you're not answering me. Do you think
But you're here to answer questions, not ask them. So I'm going to try one more. I'm going to try
with you, Joy.
It isn't a discussion if I ask you a question and you answer with a non sequitur.
I'm not on trial.
It's not a trial. These are simple questions. Simple questions.
Having a political discourse.
You are an advisor to the campaign, sir. I'm going to try one more time.
Listen,
you're an advisor to the campaign.
Job last night.
Okay.
And here's what I would say.
You are an advisor to the campaign, sir. Would you advise him to make specific apologies rather than a blanket, vague one? Would you advise him to specifically? Let's say the Khan family.
I think the people who were dissatisfied have already made up their minds that they don't like Donald Trump.
Okay. It sounds like you don't think he should be specific in his apologies.
Going on to talk about the economy and the foreign policy and the issues that count, that's where the speech really went, and that's what our campaign is about.
You are an excellent politician because the filibuster appears to be your specialty. You did a great job on that. Thank you very much.
Joy,
have a great
thanks
weekend.
a lot.
See, and that's why, you when you hear guys like this, well, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but when I hear guys like this, basically that's just what he did, filibuster, and want to get their points out there but don't want to answer any questions. It just pisses me off, and it's guys like this that really give politicians a bad name. You get some guys out there, and there are decent guys out there on the Republican side. I kind of like a guy from New York, Peter King. At least he'll answer a question okay, in such a way as to give you an answer, maybe not a complete answer on exactly how you want it spelled out, but he will at least give you a yes or a no, and then he'll go on from there. This guy, no matter what question you ask him, he was just going to spin and turn the question to a filibuster on a talking point for the Republican Party. And yet and still, they want African American votes. No, they really don't. What they're trying to do is make middle class white voters, especially women, more comfortable with Donald Trump, so that they could try to pull those votes back in, because at this point he's lost a lot of them.